So how you been?
Oh, it's been a day. It's been a day. Happy Mother's Day to all the
Happy Mother's
mothers
Day.
out there
Even though this will
and our
come
own
out
mother.
weeks later.
Well, we're recording this on Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day. I hope you just like are sitting there and you can just be like, "Oh, someone wish me happy Mother's Day." I don't know who, but I felt it spiritually or something.
Yeah. We're recording kind of late because Alex's Wi-Fi took a dump.
Yeah,
Basically.
my Wi-Fi just sucks. Our internet, we only have one internet provider where we are, and
And
it's like
it's dick,
it's
literally.
it sucks. It's terrible. That's the actual name of it, COX. And it's the only one, and it's hella expensive, and it just kind of sucks. So, yeah, so that's great. My plan is like 500 something per second, like the whatever the internet speed is, and I can only get up to like 30 of it, so I'm pretty fucking annoyed. I feel like I should be refunded for that extra bunch because I'm not getting it. But anyways, I'm
And
a little
they're gonna be like, we're sorry. They're gonna literally
sorry.
be the
Here's
it's
extra. Let's charge you more.
it's gonna be the South Park joke where it's like, we're sorry. Sorry.
They're not sorry. They're not sorry.
Exactly.
They know exactly what they're doing.
It's
Pissing
been
me the
a
fuck off.
it's been a week or so though since we last talked. It's been like weather-wise, it's been raining. This has actually been the nicest day we've had in a while because it's been literally
Yeah,
raining for a week straight.
it really has been. I don't know what next week's gonna look like. I
Rain.
hope
It
it's
looked like
not.
rain. It looked like
God
rain.
fucking damn it. I've been wanting
Yeah.
to ride my bike and I just like haven't been able to. Well, it looks like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So maybe I'll try going Monday. Maybe tomorrow afternoon I'll try. I just gotta charge my battery, but maybe I'll try going after work.
Okay, it looks a little bit. I mean, it's still. Oh, next weekend, great. Anyways, so
No,
yeah, we
it
got
says Saturday and Sunday are gonna be no rain.
not on mine. Mine says rain, 55% chance.
Well, I'm gonna hope that yours is wrong. Um so
Anyways,
oh, you want to hear what happened today, which was sad but also really gross? I think I told you earlier, but it happened again. Um yeah, so this morning for Mother's Day, Miss Dingles, as my child, my cat child named Pooh, gave me the gift of barfing. Not barfing. It was coughing up a hairball. And it makes me so sad when she does it because she cries like I'm putting her in the bag to go to the vet or the groomer, and she was doing her cry meow. So I run upstairs, almost fall down the stairs, and I see her do it, and then, but the thing is like so I've cleaned up cat barf before. I've cleaned up. I cleaned up a lot of Tilly's cat barf. I cleaned up. Sometimes I would clean up Alice and Trixie's if I saw it. I've never, for some reason, Miss Dingle's cat barf makes me so sick. Like, I threw up this morning because it was so fucking nasty. And then, so this afternoon, she goes to eat her dinner. She eats all her crunchies. And she didn't eat her dinner. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Why aren't you eating your dinner? And then I suddenly start hearing her cry again. I was like, oh, no, not round two. We had round two. Bill, the hairball that she threw up was that long. It looks like a turd because like her fur is brown. So it literally just looked like she puked up a turd, but it's all just fur. Fucking disgusting. And like, oh, even like I don't know what is going on in her tummy, but like it's just fucking nasty. I almost threw up again. So now I feel nauseous and like it won't go away.
welcome to GNC,
Well,
everybody. We're talking
it's
about
sorry about
cat barf.
no, it wasn't barf. It was a hairball mixed with barf.
Lovely. Yeah,
It was
it's
so gross. And I just like I'm usually okay with it, but like, oh my god, I'm not okay with hers for some reason. It's like next level barf. It's gross.
yeah. Uh, any anime watching? I haven't done a lot recently.
You've
Mostly
been
just
watching Family.
yeah, I have been watching Family. I've finished
Family
my.
Guy. Na 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 Family
I haven't
Guy.
watched Family Guy in like a decade, but
Not since they killed Brian. Remember that when they killed
That
the
was the dumbest fucking thing because it was such a bait and switch for ratings.
Yeah.
Uh, um, yeah, but I speaking of Brian's, I've been watching all the Fast and Furious movies, and
Yes.
it's been a fun experience. Um, they're dumb as fuck, but I love them because they're dumb. It's just stupid car shit.
Yes.
They sent a car to space. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, I've been watching those. I've been keeping up mostly with reading. Keeping up with the manga stuff, catching up. Like the new Chainsaw Man volume
Mm.
came out. I don't know where the fuck that story's going, but
Where we're
new
going, we don't need roads.
new Sakamoto days. New. I'm still. I hate how long it takes for Spy Family to come out because it's been like 4 months since the last
Welcome,
volume.
welcome to the club. One of mine has not come out with a new chapter in like almost a year.
Yeah, I mean Black Clover is pretty slow too. So
That has good reason behind it though. Like the artist is
yeah,
really sick, so just appreciate those chapters when they come out. Bill.
yeah. Other than that, though, I've been just watching the regular animes. I'm gonna probably get into more series pretty soon. I was gonna this week, but then this week ended up being like a home improvement week where I was doing like house projects all
Yes,
week.
built a lot of shelves.
I built shelves, moved stuff around, made stuff just more functional.
Yeah.
It was
I was
great.
gonna make fun of you for needing more shelves, but we went
You're one.
manga shopping today, and I need more shelves. Now, I'm running out of room. Like I think I've almost maxed the capacity on the one over there, and I mean the one over here is already at max. So I might have to do some reshuffling. Um, but the thing is like okay, so Solo Leveling only has one more volume, so I know that one's done. And then like the same as like with the Trigon, I just have one more, and that one's also done, so I can mark that as complete. It's crazy. I actually have a couple that are gonna be completed soon because Jujutsu Kaisen is
It's
only
getting
30
close.
volumes. So and I'm at
Damn.
26, so only 4 more volumes.
Yeah, that's
That's
how I
crazy
am
to
with
think
like
about.
Comey. Comey's very close to being finished. I have a few that are pretty close
Yeah.
here and there, but I also have a lot of ongoings.
Yeah. I just started I don't know if I talked about it on the podcast. I don't think I did because I think I would have talked about it when we recorded, but I watched the My Hero Academia movie, You're Next, which is the 4th one. Um And I gotta say, when me and my friend John, we were watching it together, and it just not the story did not, but the vibes. Like, remember when we were watching The Boy and the Heron and we were just making fucking fun of it the whole time? That's what was happening when we were
Well,
watching My Hero Academia You're Next.
Boy and the Heron for me was just kind of a thing where I was kind of like, he ended on such a high note that when he made another movie, I was just so like, I'm like, this is never gonna live up to Wind Rises to me.
And it didn't.
No, I mean it was
Uh
fine. You know what the problem with Boy and the Herring was?
what?
We
Robert?
watched well then the fact that we watched Suzume right after it, and Suzume is a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah.
So
But we still vehemently made fun of it the whole time. But basically, when we were watching the My Hero Academia one, we were vehemently making fun of it the whole time.
to be fair, with the My Hero movies, only one of them's really good. That's the
The
first one.
first two are are good. Even though I have problems with the second one, thinking about the third and fourth one, I would much rather rewatch the first two than the last two. Um
The third one was so entertaining, I fell asleep watching it.
The third one also just really annoyed me for some other reason. We've already talked about it, but the fourth one, like, it had. I'll just tell you, like, it had like Dark All Might, a
Hell
guy
yeah.
just pretending to be evil All Might, but it was just so stupid and like there were so many different things going on, like with the plot that like you just like didn't know where to go. Like it was just like everywhere. Like the plot, it was so hard to follow that like we just were making fun of it because it was stupid. It was a really bad movie. It was the worst one. Like that one's definitely the worst of all the movies.
Usually when they get to like the fourth movie, unless it's like a really long running series, like the fourth movie is generally the one that's the worst. Like I think with the Inuyasha movies, the fourth one is easily the least most forgettable one.
Yeah, well, and I also think too, it's like they're trying to like shove it in between like This one seemed like they were actually actively trying to put it in between the plot as if it was really happened, which it didn't. But like they made it seem like that. And I don't know. I just thought it was bad. I thought it was really bad. I didn't rank it very highly. But then I watched Yakuza Fiance, not Yakuza Lover Bill, Yakuza Fiance. And I gotta say, well, that one I had actually wanted to watch last year or like a while ago, but there was no dub. And the dub only came out pretty recently. So I finally got to watch that. And I gotta say, oh, I haven't like found like a really good romance in a while, and I really like this one. It's a little dangerous because they're yakuza. I really liked it. But one thing I really like too is just the art style is very different. It's very stylized, and if you have a very funky style, I'm in. And the main character is just a badass. Like she's just great. Like she is a great character. She gets thrown into the situation. She's like, "Fuck you! I'm just gonna live my life and like take all your money in the end." So it's good. I really like it, and I like where it's going. So I ended up buying what I could of the manga. I have to get like 3 more. So I watched that. Then I watched The Red Ranger Becomes an Adventurer in Another World, which I think I told you about, which is just basically Power Ranger got Red Ranger gets isekai'd. Uh, and it's just like it was stupid, but like kind of funny. Like it wasn't the greatest thing I've ever seen, but like there were moments where I did laugh out loud.
So it was on the same level as the vending machine, where it was like it's dumb, but it's entertaining in that dumb way.
I'd say the vending machine's a little better, but like just some of the goofy shit, like of like they had like moments where he had to get into the transformer machine where all the characters' bonds come together, which I don't
You
understand
mean
how
you
he
mean
gets.
the Megazord?
Yes, the Megazord, basically. But it doesn't make sense because none of the other Rangers are there, so I don't know how he's making the Megazord. We'll just call it Isekai magic. But like one of the things he always says is like, "All right, guys, we're gonna win with the power of bonds," and everyone just looks at him like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Because everyone's like, "Is that magic? I don't know what this means." And like he always forces them to like take the other roles in the Megazord. And like it doesn't work if they're not all bonded. So he's like, guys, we gotta be bonded. So it had really funny moments. Would I like go back and rewatch it? No. But like if there's a season two,
It's
I
a one
might
and
put
done.
it.
It's
Yeah.
so it's a one and done trash anime.
It's
Basically,
a
that
one and done. It's funny at times. There's a little too much fan service, but you know, and also, like, the ending, like, I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" I was like, "Whatever." I kinda zoned out for it, but, it was pretty funny just for the whole stupid bonds. Bonds are everything, and everyone else is like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Um, and then I watched Konosuba. I
the
finished
bet
it today.
the best
Well,
isekai.
besides the 3rd OVA,
That's not out
because
yet.
it's
So
not out yet, but other than that, I finished all of it, the movie and the spin-off.
oh, you did
And
watch the spinoff.
I
Nice.
did. I finished that today, and then today I started watching. Well, I just finished the first episode of ReZero, um, because it was like a hour long. Basically, it was 50 minutes, like an hour long episode. I gotta say though, like I remember like ReZero being really hyped up when it first came out, and I feel like because like I kind of already knew the plot of the show, it was kind of boring because I knew it was gonna happen. So I'm like, I'm contemplating if I want to keep watching episode 2 or if I just want to drop it because I'm like, I don't know, maybe you ever feel like you miss the hype?
That's how I felt with Attack on Titan for the longest time, but I still watched that.
Well, yeah, but that's different because that's great. Like, I mean, maybe this is good, but like, I don't know. I just couldn't get into it. Like Attack on Titan, you could get into it from the first episode though, because
Well,
you're like,
because it was such a mind fuck. Like you had to
well,
know where the fuck it was going.
well, this one, like, I guess is similar, but because I kind of knew what was already gonna happen, it just like I don't know. I was kind of looking at reels while it was playing. I won't lie. So I don't know if I'm gonna keep watching it, but we'll
Fair
think
enough.
about it.
You
Oh,
watched
and then
Kono. You watched Konosuba though. You watched Peak.
Yes, I watched Konosuba, and then I also watched. I continued watching because I've been watching week to week, from bureaucrat to villainous. Dad's been reincarnated, which I have to say, Bill, once that's out, you need to watch it. It's so fucking funny. But today, what I really liked about it is that what happens in isekais that gets forgotten a lot. What happens in isekais? Like someone dies and they're in this other world, but what happens to the family on the other
Yeah.
side? This one actually covers that. So it actually goes in because this one, it's all about like this bureaucrat man who and it's also like technically he didn't die. He's technically in a coma and he's stuck in a video game, but the family can now implement and help him along his journey in the video game. Which
Huh.
is it was interesting because I was like, I really thought about it and I was like, you know what? I don't think I've ever seen like an isekai show where the family gets talked about. Like they just go to the other world and it's like, all right, fuck them. Like this
The
is the first.
only thing I can think of, and it's not super deep, it's very surface level, but the only one I can think of is in that time I got reincarnated as a slime, we do briefly see his friend deleting his computer hard drive.
Yeah.
That's like the one
But
time I
that's
can think
more
of
of
that.
like a joke. And it's
Yeah,
more of
it's
like
that's why I
for
say it's not like super deep, but it's like the one time I can actually think of them
this one
actually
you're
acknowledging.
actually seeing the family interact and stuff, which is kind of like funny and refreshing. So I definitely say like once it's fully out, we got to do an anime swap on that because I've been really enjoying it. It's nothing it's not the most amazing show ever, but I've been finding it really enjoyable. Especially there was a dad joke off, Bill. There was a dad joke off. They were
Uh,
having the guy who was reincarnated as the girl in one of the love interests, which she's the villainess. So the beer cat dad who's been reincarnated, they had a dad joke off, and it was great. I enjoyed every second of it. So, I feel like I've talked too much. Bill, speak.
I
Have
was
you
just
been playing any games?
I've been playing Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind recently. It's good. It's like it's an old school style beat 'em up, kind of like the Scott Pilgrim game.
Mhm.
Um, and it's like it's modern made, but it's based off the original series. Well, it's actually kind of more based off the comics in a sense, mixed with the series. But I basically what happened is I forgot we had gotten a gift card for like Christmas a while back, and I think I put it on my Switch. I think I bought one thing, and then I'd forgotten I had like a balance left, and I just completely forgot. So I booted on my Switch and saw I had a balance like on there, and I was like, oh, I should probably use this on something. And I saw the Power Rangers game was on sale for like $20, so I was like, fuck it, let's give it a shot.
Why not?
It's a really good beat 'em up. Like they did a really solid job. It'd actually probably be a fun multiplayer game.
Hmm.
But I've been playing a bit of that. I was actually speaking of like anime and stuff. I was actually kind of joking with Matt when we were recording Geek Addicts this week. Um, we're both starting to get into that phase of life now where like we're just at the point where we just want to drink beer and watch rom-coms.
That's a-okay. That's a-okay. Watch Yakuza Fiance.
Well, I
There
was
you go.
joking because like we're watching like just a bunch of them, and like I was joking, picturing. I think I was messing with Matt. I was like, I'm just picturing you like on the porch with like the beer, just watching like Kimi ni Todoke and being like, just fucking kiss already, because they're very infuriating in that show.
That's actually on my list because I think I remember watching season 1 like many, many years ago when it wasn't dubbed.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
I've been meaning to go back to it. I
it
gotta
is a
go.
very good love story if you want something that doesn't have fan service and is just like a cute story. Um, Even if like the main couple is very infuriating because it's just it's one of those things where you're just like, will you just fucking kiss already?
Yes. I was also playing a game today.
Oh yeah.
I went back to my Animal Crossing town.
Oh, I haven't done that in a
There was
while.
Everyone was just like, "Who are you?" And then they're like, "Oh, just kidding. Maybe you should come back and visit." And I was like, "You know what? Fuck you guys. I'm not coming back to visit. Maybe I'm restarting. I'm getting a new village."
Delete everything.
Delete everything because all these guys were insulting me.
But
But
then you sit there and go, I don't want to do it again.
yeah, I don't want to like that. It was a lot. So, yeah. So I went back and visited. There were so many weeds and there were so many flowers because I had a ton of flowers planted and like after a while they just start like growing more.
Taking over.
So I like sold like thousands of dollars worth of flowers because I would just pick them up with my shovel and bring them to like the little dumpy thing, the little drop box, not dumpy. I just do that repeatedly, and I did that like 20 times, and then I was like, oh. And then one thing I didn't realize I started doing is like I was just hoarding fossils because like I already like got them all in my museum. So I was just like, I guess in my mind I was like, oh, I'll just like line them up on the street. So I currently have like all the way to my museum to like where my stores are to slightly over a bridge is all just fossils. And my plan is like every path that I have, I'm just gonna fill up all the paths with them.
Good.
But like I must have like 100 fossils like just on the ground right now.
See, I just like, you know what? That's even more insulting to Blathers. Not only will you not give them to him, but then you
Well,
just
no,
parade them.
my
No,
museum
but
is full.
No, what I mean is like to his personal collection.
Oh, fuck that. I'm selling those for money.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not only insulting that you won't give him to his personal collection, but instead you're just like putting him on the ground.
Yeah, I do what I want. I do what I fucking want.
I do that
And
too in my town. That's why I have random like toilets just on the mountaintop for no
you
reason.
don't play Animal Crossing right. Get out!
I have fun, and that's what Animal Crossing's about. Having fun.
You know what else is fun, Bill?
What?
What are you drinking? Turn on the music. Is it playing?
No. It's not fun when you don't hear it.
Well, turn it off and turn it back on. Maybe it will work. I hear it! Okay.
You didn't hear the first song. That
No.
definitely wasn't the right music.
What are you drinking, Bill?
I am drinking because it's that time of year, a Sam Adams Porch Rocker. Because it's a Sunday night and I can drink.
It is. It is. I know it doesn't have nutritional facts, but just give us something. Tell us how it makes you feel.
We've brewed a golden Helles Lager combined with a fresh squeeze of lemon. Taste that pairs well with any summertime day.
That is more than we usually get from Bill.
That's all you're getting.
Give Bill a round of applause.
Don't encourage her.
Everyone encourage me. I'm still going to keep doing it because it's my job. Bill, aren't you going to ask me what I'm drinking?
Why do I even have to ask? You're just going to tell me anyways.
Ask me.
What are you drinking?
I am drinking a sparkling beverage, Blood Orange Bliss by
Drinking blood?
Franny's.
I knew you were a vampire.
It's clearly fucking orange, and they'll be able to see it, so they'll be able to know you're clearly fucking wrong.
You know what? We're actually allowed to do the video this time. Fun.
Yes. The Franny's, which is the brand that you told me to buy, which I've been buying. It's all like these. This one is 0 calories, 12 fluid ounces, 0 grams of fat, 0 milligrams of sodium, 110 milligrams of potassium, 0.5 carbs, and 0 grams of protein. It contains carbonated water, natural flavors, citric acid, potassium benzoate, potassium citrate, circulars, I don't know.
Alex
caffeine,
is the college graduate
gum,
here.
Fuck off. I didn't say I could read. Gum Arabic green tea extract. There's a bunch more. I'm not gonna read it. But these are good. They have multiple flavors. Bill and I both like the Irish ginger ale.
Because it's a ginger ale that's caffeinated and has like 0 calories. It's and it's huge. And it's $1.
Yeah.
Or around $1.
There's the very vanilla cream, which is like a cream soda, and that one's really good. I've had the blood orange one before, and it's very good. It's like a not as like soda-y orange soda, but it's good. And then I also had the black cherry noir, which was good. And then this week I got the luscious lemonade, and I think I got like a grapefruit one as well. So yeah, I got those to try as well. But I recommend this brand if you see it. It's really good.
If you see it, I'm pretty sure it's local.
Actually, yeah, it's made in Worcester. I looked up the website and it said made in Worcester.
It just showed up one day, and I hope it doesn't disappear like a lot of shit tends to do, because I'm gonna have to start buying it online.
I will be buying it online. Yeah, I went on her website. It's drinkfrannies.com. She also has cans.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. Yeah. In Worcester, Mass. Located in Worcester, Mass. But very.
You went to college there.
Pomelo. There's also one that I saw on the website that really perturbed me. Called Cold Cocoa Latte. So it's like a sparkling drink, but it's like chocolate.
I mean, I've had chocolate flavored beer before.
Yeah, but not like sparkling though. So I really want to find it. I'm very intrigued. I have not seen it ever, and I really want it. It has like a
order one.
I'm thinking about it. I want them all. They're all really good.
Collect them all. Pokemon.
Hey.
But anyways, yeah.
No, keep that music back on.
No.
Put that music back on. Right now. Oh, you can see like the screen break. I know. I saw that dookie by your door.
Yeah, that's there.
Yeah, I went up to Bill's because we went out and we went to one of our favorite delis where I used to live. Now we just go for like a trip every now and then. But we went there, and as I'm walking up to Bill's place because I was making Bill drive, I like look, and I'm like look down, and there's just fucking a turd, and it was like a coiler. It's just like next to his yard. It's like it wasn't a person turd, thankfully. I mean, it could have been. I don't know. It looked like an animal, like a bigger animal, maybe like a raccoon. But there's just a poop, and I was like, Bill, did you get rid of it?
No, I forgot. I gotta do that in the morning.
Ew, yeah, put it in the dumpster. But there's just a fucking turd outside your house.
Yeah, I noticed, and I was like, "What the
Mystery poop, mystery poop." I wonder if you could see it on the Ring camera.
I don't pay for the service. I wouldn't.
Why not? It's not that expensive. You should pay for it.
I keep forgetting. But anyways, lovely. But yeah, so we have a topic for this week, and speaking of cursed, oh boy, so
we're cursed.
We're talking about this. This is a very nostalgic topic for Alex.
Yes,
and it's also a regret for Alex because she also didn't realize how bad it was.
Well, it's just there's much better things that I watch nowadays. So like these ones that. They just don't look they weren't very good. But basically, we're going to talk about Bratz, which was one of my favorite things as a child.
Alex
I had so many Bratz dolls. I had a ton of Bratz dolls. I liked Bratz over Barbies, which I mean most girls my age did because Bratz were just inherently so much better, cooler and more stylish. Barbie was like the basic, like and like tried to be like nice. Bratz were cool and they were bitches, and we loved them for that.
And you could rip their feet off.
Yeah, and instead of like having to lose like tiny ass shoes, you had to lose giant.
You'd lose
feet.
Giant clodhoppers because their feet were massive. Made it
so you didn't lose them as much. I never lost the shoes as much. I mean, sometimes, but
you had
the amount of Barbie shoes I lost
stumpy because you lost their shoes.
Yeah. It happens sometimes, but not nearly as many as the Barbie ones. But yes, I told Bill, well, we are eventually going to watch all the Barbie movies too. Well, so we're only going to watch the ones I'm nostalgic for, or at least in the category I'm nostalgic for. So this is going to be a 3-part series, and it's going to end with watching the live action version of Bratz and doing a tier list as well on the last episode. But for the first 2 episodes, we decided to break up the movies into 2 parts because
we started watching them and we realized
watch anymore.
Well, we started watching it and then we realized, fuck, there's more of these than we thought.
Yes,
we're not even watching all of them because I refuse to watch the babies ones.
Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna specify. So we're only watching the ones that so the only ones I grew up with were actually 4 we're gonna start we're gonna watch today. Well, we're gonna talk about today, but there was a lot more. So there was kind of 3 different like franchises. They had just the regular Bratz, they had the Bratz babies, and then they had like the Bratz kids. And we ain't watching the kids or the babies because I didn't watch them personally, or like
I
I
feel
was
like I'd be
out of
put
the
on a.
Bratz.
I feel like I'd be put on a list if I watched the babies one. So
Yeah, I just like it's not for us, but the ones where they were teenagers, more those are the ones we're gonna watch.
teenagers that can drive fucking semi trucks across America.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, but that's okay. So we are going to watch for I don't actually think this list is right.
So I already. It's bad that I know the fucking names. We're watching Starring and Styling, Rock Angels, Fashion, Gypsy Fever, whatever, Gypsy, whatever.
No, Genie Magic.
What the? Who cares?
Gypsy Fever, Genie Matt. We're gonna I'm gonna
Who
say we're
cares?
watching today. We watch Starring and Styling, Rock Angels, Genie Magic, Bratz, Diamond Fashion Diamonds. I'm just gonna call it Diamonds.
Well,
Bratz
Rat's Trucker Road Trip because that's what it was.
Bratz Fashion Pixies, and that will be the first episode. Will just be those ones, and then after that, we're gonna watch Bratz Girls Rock, Bratz Pampered Pets, Bratz Desert Jewels, Bratz Go to Paris, and then I believe it's a Bratz like camping movie as well.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we're gonna have a great time. I already know it.
The first one already went so well, so I can only imagine that
Yeah, what
they
is
only
the
get
name?
better from
What's
here.
the name of that last one? It's. I need to know now. But anyways, we're gonna watch them. There's this playlist on YouTube that we
That has
basically found.
all of them
Yeah, it
except the
has
live action, but
except the live action, but I think it's under. Oh, I'm blurry. I just realized that. Um, but yeah, and then we're gonna finish with the live action. Because the live action movie is fucking awful. And it will just be a great finish because my plan is that we're gonna then watch all the Barbies movies that I'm nostalgic for. So basically the ones from my prime era. There was like kind of like 3 different eras of Barbie movies, and we're just gonna watch the ones from mine, which was like the classic fairy tale era is what I'm gonna call it. And then we're gonna watch the live action Barbie movie to go with it. And then, as a bonus content, we'll watch the Barbie My Scene movie, which was Barbie's competition to Bratz.
Barbie's Bratz ripoff
I'm
that failed
making
miserably.
Bill watch so many girly movies, and it's gonna be great. Are you excited, Bill?
No.
And then Thracklemore is gonna join us when we watch Bratz, the live action movie. I only refer to Thrack as Thracklemore now.
Okay.
That is his name.
It's all right. Our mother refers to him as Smack, so
Yes. Yeah, and he's gonna join us. But Thrack, if you want to join us, you gotta help with the tier list. So get watching the rest of the movies in that playlist. Bill, you
Any,
don't sound excited.
is it bad that I thought the best one was the first one?
All right, let's get this started. So, Bill, the first movie was Bratz starring and styling. And
Featuring
Bill,
the ass-eating teacher and Cam the cuck.
did you include the teacher in the thumbnail?
No, because I could not get a good still of him.
Bill, you should have went back and paused. Oh my god.
All
All
right.
right, we'll just post it at some point, or you gotta edit it.
Keep talking. I'm gonna find an image and I'll bring it up in the video.
Yes. So Bratz stylings. So one of the things too that you'll notice with the Bratz movie is the first one, rather than doing the 3D animation that will be like the rest of them, this one was done in 2D hand drawn animation. And it sucks. Like, honestly, like, the Bratz look worse in 2D versus 3D. I know, like, there's some, but they just look weird. They look much better as, like, the 3D doll-like creatures because they are dolls. They look terrible in 2D, mostly because they have no noses, and they just kind of, like, they don't really animate the noses, so they just look like big-eyed, big-lipped freaks. Um, so that's my first critique. But
Oh
anyways, the
god, the
plot
site
of
is
this,
awful.
what site? Are you on the
I'm trying to
Bratz
bring up the
wiki?
wiki. Yes.
um,
Okay.
so basically, the whole thing, this movie is all centered around prom because they are in high schoolers, despite how they look. They are in high school, and they're all getting ready for prom. And some of the girls are working on like the prom committee, but what they're finding out is that there's actually this like
There you go.
This is the ass eating teacher because what the fuck is that beard? What is
It's
that?
just a perfect brown ring around his
It's a
face.
perfect
I'm
brown.
sorry.
What else is it supposed to be? So yeah, that was the ass
Yeah.
eating teacher. But anyways, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, mom. I'm so sorry. Um what's happening is that there's like this secret like gossip column, which it made me also realize they kind of copied Gossip Girl a little bit. There's this gossip column that basically makes fun of people and tells their secrets, and they're all kind of subtly trying to figure this out as they're building up to prom. It's basically like each of the friends ends up getting like outed for something, and like one of them is like really fashionable, and like they write like an article about how like they're losing their fashion touch. It's basically
It's the
mean.
most it's the most middle school ass bullshit ever.
Yeah, it's really dumb, and basically that's the whole plot of this. Is like they're just trying to figure out who it is, but they're also
So
preparing for the prom committee.
my favorite part about this, other than like the characters just
The
being
ass eating
like,
teacher.
well, the funniest part about this movie is like we just like we made head canons for all these characters. Like the teacher, that was his canon. Then we've created this running joke that the character Cameron is just a giant cuck.
Yeah.
We kept it going throughout the series. And
Yes.
he doesn't help himself.
Till he
I'll
gets
say that.
taken out.
Yeah, until they forget about him for like 5 movies. But yeah, like the thing with this movie was like this was like kind of the first real pieces of media that gave these characters like real personality, because other than that there was
Hmm.
mostly just like the weird lore that came with the boxes. um and like the little like there was a
Yeah.
PS1 game that sucks ass. So
Yes.
the lore for Bratz was pretty much non-existent by this point. So this was like the first real like character lore, and they decide to just fucking character assassinate one of the four main girls in the movie for
Well,
no
and
reason.
it's also like they're all kind of like dumb though too. Like as I'm thinking about it, is like so like all these articles keep coming out like about each one of the Brats and like the Brats friends because like Cameron the cuck, um, an article gets written about him because they have a sleepover and he comes over for some reason. They put him in a
No,
face mask.
he came over because he had to tell Chloe that he fixed her car because he's a fucking owns an auto shop. I guess I don't fucking know,
Yes, I don't know. Anyways,
because they
like,
drove off
but
the
like
road because of a
they in the
skunk.
article. Yes, they do get in a car accident. And the car is somehow not totaled. Bratz logic. But
That rust
at one
bucket should
point,
have disintegrated
Cameron.
when it hit that tree.
Yes, Cameron gets really mad at one point because he's like, "How dare you post these pictures of me?" And they're all like, "Oh my god, who took that? Like, how did someone get these pictures?" Not suspecting anyone. And this whole time, like, there's stuff that's like only they were there. None of them
Yeah.
suspect each other.
Also,
Um,
only three of the girls are getting mentioned, not one in particular who's been there the
well,
whole
one.
time.
Yeah. So we're just saying that they just make Yasmin such a jerk, and so she's
Yeah,
been the one posting all these gossip articles, and they all get mad at her, and like rightfully so because like why would you do that to your friends? But also like they forgive her so easily, and I'm like, no, that
because
girl's a bitch.
because it's high school bullshit, and that's just how friendships work in high school.
Yes. But the main climax is that, like, basically they
Also, the running joke that
forgive her and the
all
prom is
these
fine.
girls are very clearly from very well-off families because holy shit.
Yeah.
They go shop.
And
Their solution to everything is let's go shopping.
oh, there's also the what's his name? Like the superintendent or principal that was also a very ugly character. But I'd say the best character design from this one was definitely the ass eating teacher. What would you say? Do you wish you could have got a doll of him?
No, not at all. His character
Get
design
out.
is terrible.
Get
It's
out of
like
my
that.
house. No.
It's that awful
Please
ass
bring it
ring.
back up again. Please bring it.
I don't have it saved anymore.
How fucking dare you?
I didn't think we'd still give me a minute.
I need it back. Oh wait, maybe I can send it to you. Was it
No, I
Mr.
got
Del Rio?
Yeah, I got it.
You do? Okay, bring it back up. We really need to talk about this in more detail.
Perfect. Here's the video where he's about to smack a bitch.
Oh, I found him.
I got it.
But also, wait, just pull up a picture of one of the Bratz so we can talk about the fact that like none of them.
I found a perfect photo. I found a
okay.
perfect photo for this because it looks like he's about to smack a bitch. No reason. Blood. It's struggling. Give it a minute.
It's taking too long. My patience is this
Right.
thing. Oh,
well, it doesn't want to.
Nope. I see it.
Oh,
I saw it. I saw it, and then it closed straight away.
No, it's because the video. There's too much shit going on right now on my computer, so it's lagging the fuck out.
Oh, okay. Oh,
there we go.
Where is he?
All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at the fact that like where the fuck is her nose? Like they just look weird, right? And they just look uncanny, like the Bratz. Like their faces just do not translate well to 2D.
Well, because they went with the little 2D photos that go
like
with
the
the
box
dolls,
art.
and like they didn't have and they didn't have noses.
I always thought the box art looked weird. Like I always thought the dolls were just pretty. Like just the fact that they just disregarded noses. Like they could have like at least the ass-eating teacher has like a little divot. You know, like there's something signifying that he has a nose. No one else in these movies do. Only if they're ugly. If they're considered hot, they don't have a nose. But if you're considered ugly, which how dare they consider Mr. Del Rio
the only
ugly.
Okay, so that's the fun part about these movies. The only ugly people in these movies are the male characters. There's no ugly females in these movies.
No, there's the librarian, which I feel like would be considered ugly. She has the nose, but everyone has those big ass fucking like it just like what is that beard? Why does he look like that? Like why does it look like a ring of poop? Like they didn't give it any texture.
He's also got like the balding, but he's got a mud flap going on in the back. Like everything about his design is just awful, and they somehow make it worse when they go 3D.
Yes, I forgot there's 3D. He looks self-expression eat ass whenever you wait. Can you just Photoshop that and change self-expression to eat ass? Oh god!
Yeah, here he is in 3D. Like that's the same character apparently.
Ugh, they got rid of his best quality, which was his beard.
Too many ads. That website was fucking shitting itself real fast.
Yes. But basically that's the whole plot. Like they're literally preparing for prom and it's like a Gossip Girl plot and they just character assassinate Yasmin for like no good fucking reason. And that's really it. That's all that happens. I think this one was the shortest. Like I think it was less than an hour.
It's like 50 minutes. You used to watch it on repeat back in the day.
It was 50 minutes too long. Yeah, I don't know why I did. I do not remember the teacher at all, and I feel like I should have, but I don't.
Because you were too innocent at the time, and you just were like, "Oh, it's an ugly character design," and then we turned it into that. Yeah. So that movie came out.
This was up to a rocky start.
Well, what's funny is they actually tried to incorporate the other characters that were in the series, like
Mm,
because there were other dolls beyond the main four, and they tried to include them, like the unofficial fifth one, Megan, who like
yeah.
was in like the PS1 game before they just established no, it was just these four that mattered.
Yeah. And you'll see a trend after this movie. Every single movie made after was made with the intention to sell more dolls. Um and each one also has like a special character too that is like the extra doll that they sell, or maybe two characters as well. But for the most part, just usually has one special character. So Rock Angels is the next movie, and thankfully we're in the 3D animation. Does it look the greatest? No, but was it pretty good for the time? Yeah, I'd say it looked pretty nice for 2005.
It looks fine. Like it's not
Yeah,
hideous, but it's also not particularly good.
yeah. I feel like they spent a lot of the money animating the hair at times, but the best part is, so this movie opens where they're all dancing and playing air quotes guitar around a car, and this car gets reused a couple of times, and they're just
Oh yeah,
playing.
the best part about these movies is these 3D models will get reused so
Oh yeah,
much to
they
the point where you're
reuse
like,
all the assets over and over and over. It's great.
yeah,
But they're all just jamming out, and they're like, "You want to know how we get here?" And it's basically here's our story. And
you want to know how we get here? Not really.
not really. I want to know how, like, you think that, and they're playing the guitars, and as Bill pointed out, they're not playing it right
That's
for the
that's not
music
how
that is
guitars
coming.
work. That's not how guitars work. Yes.
It was mostly a lot of gyrating and hair flipping that was
Also, there's
happening.
very clearly bass and drums, and there was no bass or drums going on there.
Yes. But then, so the movie starts out is that the four girls are all chatting, and Jade just got a job at a magazine, which is Your Thing magazine. Um, and they're all hanging out at the smoothie bar, which is one of the main locations of all the Bratz movies. It's gonna come up many times, but
Also,
they're all
these
chatting.
girls just straight up, the world revolves around them because the shit they get away with in this universe.
Yes. Uh, but Jade, she's gonna start her internship. Um, and I believe the boys make an entrance. I think the Dylan looks cool while Cam looks cool while Dylan makes a fool out of himself. And
Yeah,
that's gonna happen a lot.
Yeah,
Dylan is the
Dylan is
punching bag of the
he's
series.
the comic relief. Cam's a cuck. This is his
Yeah.
only appearance in the 3D movies
And
so
we have
far.
not seen Cam again. They wrote Cam out after
He
this. They
come
were like, he's
he
too
comes
much of a
back
cuck.
because apparently he comes back in the TV series because this had a TV series, by the way.
We're not gonna cover that because
No.
I just can't. I can't do it. This already sucks enough. I don't know why I love this. But as they're doing that, they're doing their little skateboard tricks. A skateboard just launches at one of these bullies. It's Kaylee and Kirsty, and they're like twins, and they call
Oh,
them the Tweevils.
here's the fun part. They call them the Tweebles so much I forgot they had names.
Yeah, we'll just refer to them as Tweevil 1 and Tweevil 2. Tweevil 1 is
Is bitchy, and then Tweeble
bitchy.
2 has a nose, and she constantly gets hurt.
She constantly breaks her nose.
My nose.
My nose. Oh, and then
We'll get to the plane later. We'll get to the plane later.
anyways, so Jade starts working at Your Thing magazine, and like the lady who runs it is named Birdine, and
And she
Birdine is
looks
just
like
a
a
big old
bird.
bitch.
She looks
Yeah,
like a bird.
she does. And basically, this whole scene of her working at the magazine is basically her getting bullied by everyone, and then like eventually getting fired. And she gets fired because she bought a cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger
She got fired.
for Birdine. Because Birdine's like, I only eat greens.
And the Tweevils were the ones who came up with it. So out of spite, the girls say, "Jade, you are great. Let's start our own magazine." How
because
do they do?
because they can just do that.
Yeah,
Rent out
and
a
they
fucking office space in the same building as Your Thing, by the way. Like,
yes. And then like so the next thing is like, so one of the things too is that if this movie could shove in like a 5-minute montage of just them doing random shit with music in the background, Fuck yes, they did it. Every
Th-
single movie.
This is why they reuse models in the later ones, because they used all their budget on all of the fucking shopping scenes, because they have so many different outfits to sell.
There's so many. Well, because of remember, they were selling all the different Bratz dolls that went with these, so it
The
makes sense
outfits are
why they did it.
so mid 2000s too.
Yes, they were, and they were all of them. I will say though, is that a lot of these outfits that they're wearing, honestly, are coming back to style nowadays. So it is really funny.
The whole time I'm
Um,
watching this, I'm just like, how old are these girls? Because I'm
yeah,
like,
that's the thing. Like, they're in high school, but they're running a magazine. It's very confusing. Um, but yeah, so they basically make over this really gross studio, make it beautiful, and then they just start their own magazine. And
the
then
studio is so gross that when they go in there at first, there's rats just walking around.
yeah, which it just doesn't make sense, but who cares? It doesn't need to make sense. They fix it up, and then they start their own magazine, but they're like, "Oh, we need content." And then they just steal like invitations from like the year thing. Like Jade had them and she just kept them. So she just stole these and
Well,
they
to
go on
be
the plane.
fair,
Yeah,
Berdine told her to throw them away. So
but
I
you still
mean,
can't open them. It's still illegal.
hey, the Tweebles just straight up break and enter into their office while they're
Sure.
there, and
Well,
they're like
no.
they just walk in, and it's
Oh
like
yeah, I was
trespassing.
thinking the hotel room. They also break into a hotel room, but basically they're like, okay, we're gonna go to London because they're gonna go to a punk club, to
Yeah,
review it. A punk rock club. It was not punk rock club. So they go to Europe, and one of the big things that happens too is Chloe ends up falling like
in
getting
love
a
with some
crush
random British dude that
on
she meets on the
Nigel
plane.
Forrester, the ninth Duke of Lessex.
They know each other for like 1 minute, and she's already like, "I think I'm gonna marry him." I'm
I
like,
love
"Are you
you.
fucking?" And Cam,
And then
Tucky's
Cam's
in the
just like
chair over there
he's like,
watching.
"Yeah, yeah, this is great." So they fly, and they do that, and then they land, and then the next scene is the Tweevils in Berdine on a plane,
In
and
economy
the Tweeb
class.
has my favorite scene in the movie, which is just both of the Tweevils just vomiting the whole time, and the sound's just like this, like
No,
it's
no,
just this.
it was like. Bleh, bleh.
Well, it was like blah blah, like
But they didn't even record different sounds. They just replay the
well,
same sound
yeah,
over and over again.
I'm pretty certain they're voiced by the same person,
Probably.
but like they just use this fucking barf sound. And on the plane too is like there's this guy who we don't know yet, but we're gonna know because he's gonna appear in like 8 other fucking movies. Um
And
and
his dog that gets
and
completely
his dog.
forgotten about.
Yes, his dog too. And Berdine is just being a bitch to him and like being like, your dog's gross. And he's like, my dog is actually good. Yours is a little rat thing because she has this little rat dog. And basically that's where that goes.
Does that dog
So
disappear too? Oh no, it drives the semi later.
it
Yeah,
does.
never
It
mind.
does.
Yeah,
Yes. Um,
never
and
mind.
then so they're in London. There's another montage thing, but Chloe's just kind of being a bitch and like just hanging out with Nigel. And they're all like, "We came here for work," and she's like, "I don't fucking care. Who cares about our magazine?" And they're all just like, "Wow, you suck, Chloe." But then eventually Chloe gets dumped because the Nigel guy is
Yeah,
like,
because he
"Oh."
180s in personality in 1 fucking hour.
He
Like,
basically just calls her outfit like slutty, and he's like, "You kind of look gross." And then she's like, "How dare you?" And then another best scene. It's like she's walking away sad because she got dumped. Oh, but before that, one of the Tweevils comes in, talks to Nigel, and he
and then
just
falls
commits
off a.
murder.
No, no, no. He doesn't even commit murder. She just falls off because she's stupid.
And he just walks. He like looks down. Is like,
Yeah,
bye.
don't care.
But anyways, this is all over the place. But this movie was all over the
There
place. So
is no plot. There's no plot. It's just
Chloe
bullshit.
is walking back and like her shoe just falls off.
And
And
she's like,
instead
eh.
of putting it on, she just looks back and then just like starts walking all sadly. But then Cucky
Tucky shows
comes
up on the
driving on his bike and
that he just
delivers.
has. Where did he get the
Yeah,
bike?
yeah, I don't know. He just delivers the best line delivery of "Hey," like, but like in like such a creepy, like he's like, "Hey," like just the creepiest
I'm
fucking way.
I'm pretty sure, believe it or not, I'm actually pretty sure Cam is voiced by Yuri Lowenthal, so it's Sasuke. Keep that in mind.
But he delivers it great, and then he gives her shoe. He's like, "Why the fuck did you not
No.
put
His
your shoe back
response,
on?"
he's like, "Hey, I think you lost this." She's like, "My shoe. You found it." It's like it was like, bitch,
It's literally like
literally 2 feet
feet away. It was so fucking dumb. And then basically after that, they end up going to the club. But they don't get let in at first, and then eventually they get let in because
what's his
oh yeah,
name's dog?
at one point Yasmin found the guy's dog who ends up being the celebrity guy. I can't remember his name. It doesn't matter. He's just the famous guy. Brian Powell, which is definitely a Simon Cowell reference.
Also, fun fact: the club that they go to reappears in the later films, but they just decide it's in America now.
Yeah,
it's not in England anymore.
But I guess because they were so nice and they found his dog, he's like, "Hey, go to this concert, the Save the Universe concert happening." And they're like, "Cool, I guess we'll cover that as well." So now they're just going to a concert, but the Tweevils, the barf bitches, sneak into their room and steal the tickets. So what do the girls do? They say, "Oh, they only let bands in. Let's make a band where we all play guitars."
And Cam and Dylan just somehow find like 4 guitars.
Yeah, they find them thrift shopping. They stole them.
I was like, bullshit.
So now they're in a band, and it just so happens that when they get to the band that was actually supposed to be performing Crash broke up like the day of, and this bitch Roxy's like, "Fuck, I don't have a band anymore." And they're basically like, "You want to be in the band?" And they become band. And they sell the Roxy doll. So that was the doll that was the different doll you could market. And that's literally it. That's how it fucking ends. I guess Bratz magazine is successful and Berdine sucks.
You forgot about the Tweebles and Berdine in her scuba gear because that's
Oh yeah. She shows up in
punk rock.
Scuba gear to a punk rock concert and they say Pink is out. Get out. And they don't let her in. And they also just go on tour and they become rock stars while also running a magazine, and they're in high school. Yeah, they are in high school because it's confirmed later that they're in high school. And that's it. So what the fuck was that?
It was a marketing tool to sell toys.
Yeah, and it worked. Because I gotta say, the Rock Angels outfits are great. The Rockstar outfits are great. We love them.
So the thing about this too is like the movie clearly, this is that era where they clearly thought girls had an IQ of like 4. Because I'm like, I felt insulted watching this movie. I was like, how could like?
You know what's also great too is that on the cover of this movie, there's 5 Bratz. The Roxy doesn't appear until the last 5 fucking minutes of the movie.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding, and she's on the front cover. Like, what the fuck? Throw Bardine on there. That makes more sense. Or Tweevil, or even Cam in his chair.
Bardine was arguably the most developed and interesting character in this movie.
Yeah. Like, she was a bitch, but hey, she was funny. But yeah, that movie sucked.
Greens.
The best part of the movies is definitely that soundbite of them just burping. Hello.
No, the best part of that movie is Cam coming in on his motorcycle, being like, "Hey, you lost your shoe."
Bill, say hi to Miss Dingle. She has been having a bad day. Everyone, say hi to Miss Boo. Hi, Miss Boo.
Yeah, that movie though, like, I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, content for girls back in the day was insulting.
I will say that I feel like the Barbie movies are going to be much superior.
Well, those try to tell stories.
Yes.
What story was in this movie?
I don't know. I don't know.
This was just to sell toys. Like, literally. This is worse than Power Rangers. The blatant, we need to sell toys.
Yes. So that movie ends, and then they said, you know what? Rock stars were fun. But have you heard of genies?
Yeah. From this point on, like, the first movie, it was dumb, but I was like, yeah, that makes, I can at least accept that. Then they're just like, fuck it, supernatural.
Like, yeah, why not? have genies appear. So like how this movie opens, so we're now talking about Bratz genie magic. Or as Bill says, gypsy, what did you say?
I said gypsy, whatever the fuck.
Gypsy. I think you said gypsy madness. I think that's what you said. But
Yeah,
this
probably.
is Bratz genie magic. Miss Dingles is here for it, by the way. I don't know if I can get maybe will we have a dingle moment? Dingle! You can see her! Hi, Dingle!
And
Can
she's
you-
gone.
Did you see
And
the tail?
she's gone.
You saw it for a little bit though,
Like for a
so
second. Maybe it'll fix.
ow!
It'll fix. Oh, your camera's kind of fixed now.
It's been like trying to fix itself for a bit, but I'm so happy she's out and about. I was scared. She like I'm not kidding. That hairball was like this long. Um, but Genie Magic opens and it like does not look like a Bratz movie. It opens with this escape scene of the main girl of the doll that they were trying to sell, Katya, escaping from like this boat vessel on a magic carpet. In the and then it cuts to these like this lady and guy from the Earth Safety Association ESA that are like, we got to get Katya back, and Katya's like, I'm out. I want to be a teenager. And then it goes to the girls performing in the club that is now magically in wherever
America
the Bratz
now.
live.
Now in
In
America.
America. We're gonna say they live in America.
Also, they're no longer a punk rock band. Now they're like a dance group.
Yeah, they're like doing some whatever. They're performing at Pins.
Which a bowling bar, which I was like, there's one of those in like our hometown, and it's the same name, and I was laughing my butt off.
And they're dancing, and then Katya arrives at the club. She bumps into Dylan, and Dylan tries to flirt with her, and she's like, I don't know what flirting means. And she ends up running into them after the concert. Katya ends up running into the Bratz after the concert. They see that she's being like followed by these like guards.
These
and,
guys
like,
that are like men in black alien people.
Yeah, like they're these weird like human. There's also like involves like brain deleting. So like there's basically these robot people.
The plots, by the way, like A, there is no plot, and B, it just completely goes fucking buck wild by this point.
Yes. And eventually she manages to escape. Sorry if I'm distracted. I'm trying to pet her. She very much wants pets right now, and I have to comply because she's had a bad day. Even though it's my day cuz I'm her mother, but um but she manages to escape and then eventually runs into the girls. Um and basically they become friends like out of nowhere. And eventually they have a slumber party, and that's when they find out, oh, this bitch is a genie.
Yes.
Because like one of them says like, oh, because the boys, they're having a slumber party. The boys not Cameron is gone. Cameron's dead. It's
Yeah,
just
some other Bryce was his name.
Dylan and yes, a new character named Bryce appear, and they want to do what SpongeBob would say, a panty raid. It wasn't that. They just were sneaking in to try and scare the girls, and they all get mad, and then one of them's like, "Oh, I wish you guys would croak," and Katya turns them into frogs because she's a genie, and her wishes are kind of like, if people wish for something, she just has to grant them. It's not like a, are you sure about that? It's just it's happening. Which then leads the girls to realize, fuck, we wasted a wish. And then they decide to share their wishes, which I'm like, dumb move.
Yeah, because Chloe wastes two of them right away.
Yes, Sasha wastes one too, but like it just was a bad decision. And in the end, though, too, like
and
all
then they waste the last one too. They waste the last one.
They waste all the wishes. But what they learn along the way is that their wishes can come true with hard work and mind control. Yeah. So this plot is also really confusing. There's a lot of back and forward. There's Katya's dad who's like on a boat and like thinks that the ESA Earth Safety thing are nice people, but they're clearly bad people.
Can we
talk? Just take one look.
No. We got to talk about Zell for a minute here.
Yeah.
Because this character, I was like, I just had many a meme. I'll bring up a photo of her real quick
Mm.
because straight up, like I commented when I saw this. I was like, this character was probably many young boys' sexual awakening.
Very much Shigo vibes is
Yeah.
what I said. It's like a very much Shigo Draken kind of pairing.
I made the sarcastic joke that I was like, this is literally like one of those cases of like, this is like some guy would see her and be like, I can fix her.
Yes.
Which, by the way, don't ever say that. That's not a good thing.
Yes. But basically, the whole plot is that like Katia ends up like really liking going to school. Like she goes to school. She somehow gets enrolled in the school and goes to school with them. Even though
Oh,
she's,
geez, that was a bad idea.
what did you do?
I looked that character up on Google.
Yeah. Oh no.
Like,
okay. Bad decisions, Bill.
Whoops.
You should have known this by now. But anyways, she ends up going to school, but then she ends up like they end up talking. Oh, and she goes on a date with Bryce. And like at some point.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about Chloe's English boyfriend is now a weatherman.
Yeah, he's now a weatherman.
They reused his model.
This character model. And then there's also a plot point which is important. So at some point, like she keeps having these like, oh no, I don't feel good, and they're like, you good? And she's like, yeah, and they're like, whatever. Grant us our wishes, bitch. And it's because like she has to go in her genie bottle, or like she'll like die or lose her. I can't remember what it was, but she needed to go back in it. So at one point, like the creepy agent guys come, and she's like, you know what? I'm gonna talk to my dad. I want to go to school and be friends with y'all, even though they're gonna just dump her after the end of this movie. And she'll never be seen again. Hello, Miss Jingles. Hello. And basically she goes back, and then she finds out, oh my god, these guys are evil.
No.
No. And then like so she leaves again. And at one point runs into the other Bratz. And then two of them get kidnapped by the other people because they're like, oh, these girls were talking to Katya. We gotta erase their memories.
We also forgot about one of the greatest joke scenes in this movie where there's like this random alternative couple that's like walking in the background, and the guy randomly goes, I wish I had a nickel for every time you said that, and then he just gets rained on by nickels.
I think she was like, do I look fat in this? And he was like, God fucking damn it. And yes, that was
but that gets because Katya has like this random like the running joke where she'll like impersonate a random fortune teller booth.
Yes.
Which is implied that she ripped the freaking doll out of there twice, and they just kind of put it back, and they were like, "What the hell?" But yeah, there's a point where the guy with the nickels shows up, and he's like, he just keeps asking her all these wishes, and
he's like, I gotta use all these nickels.
And then she eventually goes like, if you keep asking me, everything bad's gonna happen to you.
Yes.
And then she just runs out of the box.
No, that was the girl who got her hair changed.
Oh yeah, the girl with the hair.
There was a girl, like it was a girl who had this like very much like out of this world hairstyle, and like another girl was like, oh yeah, I love it. I wish I could have it too. And then she's like, fuck, I have it now.
And then she has it, and she's like, I didn't mean it. The hair's hideous.
And then like so she asks like Katya in the fortune booth, she's like, will it grow out? And she keeps asking the question, and that's when she freaks out. But basically in the end, like there's this big like conflict. They use all the wishes, and like basically
Katya's
she
dad
ends up having,
almost freezes.
yeah, he almost dies. So like out of the conflict, because at one point they wish for her dad, the last wish is for her dad to be back in his study, but joke's on them, if he goes in the study he fucking dies. So yeah, so she basically has to like break her bottle, which will basically make her not a genie anymore, which I don't know how that works. Like it's kind of confusing when you think about it.
Genies aren't real. They make up whatever they want.
True. That is true. And so she breaks it, so all the wishes come undone. But doing that means all the stuff that's been going on, because the ESA has been doing like using the wishes to like change the weather
to be terrorists.
Yeah, it's a terrorist organization. And yeah, Bratz. This is a Bratz movie, by the way. Yeah. And also, they basically
Zell predictably betrays the other dude because the other dude is so fucking forgettable, and she escapes in a helicopter.
We also forgot Byron. We forgot to talk about him. Yeah, Byron appears, the guy who was the band guy. Yeah, he's also a secret agent. He gives them some spy stuff at one. He gives them spy stuff at one point. It's fucking weird. This movie is weird, but basically they end up like all the weather shit goes away, and they have another concert, and now they're all in genie
No,
outfits, and that's it.
you forgot about the best joke in the movie though.
I know there's no good jokes.
No, there is. When
This movie sucks.
Dylan's like macking on a girl, and then he gets turned back into the frog, and then
Oh,
becomes
yeah.
himself again because they had to, because of how the wish went, because it had to undo the wish to turn him back, but then it also had to undo the wish that turned him into a frog.
She is so needy right now. Oh my goodness. She's
And
so needy.
and fun
Hey.
fact, after this movie, you'll never see Cardia again.
No, yeah, you'll
Okay.
never see Katia. Just like you'll never see Roxy. They already erased her. She's out of the band. They kicked her out. Well,
You
maybe
might
that's why her band broke up again.
you might see her in the background at one point, but it's basically a different character because
And same with Katia. It's probably just they reused the character model as a background. But that's basically it. Like that's the
because you
movie. There's
straight
no
up see
concert.
Bryce with different hair in the next movie. Well, in one of the later movies.
Yeah. Or it might just be Brett. Here, come here. I'm trying to get her to hop up on a
So,
chair.
yeah, the genie one was pretty bad. Kadia's dad dances with fucking Berdine at one point, which I'm like, oh yeah, she still exists.
And then he dumps that bitch because like he realized she did it. Wait. I don't know if you can see. I gave her a little seat. I gave her a little seat next to me so I could pet her easier.
Lovely.
Miss Dingles is here.
Oh yeah, the Tweebles are in this movie too, and they do fucking nothing because
Yeah, they don't do much in this movie. Their purpose is they don't really have much of a purpose because the whole magazine. Hey.
Well, the magazine plot is basically non-existent in this movie because who cares?
But don't worry, they'll remember it the next movie. And basically that's it. I will say though, I like this one a little more than the last one.
They're both nonsensical.
Yes, but this one like at least had the perk of like, well, it's about genies, so it's fine. I say they actually
This is just a straight up Kim Possible movie.
I will say I feel like the magical ones end up being the better movies.
But they're also so fucking stupid.
Yes, it's bad, but it's not. I would rather watch this one than the last one in the first one. So far, this one is in first place. It's not a great place to be, but it's there. It's in first so far. In my book.
That being said, though, we have to talk about the next movie, which is
Bratz Diamonds. Bratz Passion for Fashion Diamonds. I don't know what the title of this movie is. I'm just gonna call it Diamonds. I think it's Bratz Passion for Fashion Diamonds. And this is the one where they go on a road trip.
Yeah. Okay. So the plot of this movie, to be simple, it's a game show, TV show hosted by what's his face, Byron, or whatever.
Yes.
And the whole plot is they have to travel across the country and pick up different fashion models from different areas,
Which they never do.
Well, we find out why they don't as we go on.
Yes.
But
it's for like a fashion contest, basically.
Yeah.
The two magazines are going head to head to be like, who can find the best fashion fashion
and it's
designer.
Bratz magazine versus Your Thing magazine.
Thing.
But the point where this gets so fucking ridiculous.
Oh, you forgot the prize.
I don't even remember what the prize was.
The prize, the winner gets a priceless pair of diamond go-go boots.
Hooray.
That is what they are fighting for. Diamond go-go boots.
So they they go on, and the part where this immediately I'm just like I was like, fuck no.
Oh, careful.
They're traveling across the country in like fucking big rig semis.
Yeah, but also like so they have like the front and then the back. The carton part is like this fold out stage thing because they do a runway show everywhere they stop.
But so semis, that's fine until you realize the Bratz are driving the semis.
Like they're driving it, and I was like, I wouldn't trust these fucking girls in a semi. And basically, like they go to the first town, which is where they pick up.
Also, Berdine and the Tweevils are driving the other semi.
Yes, and you can tell how chaotic, and the dog.
Yeah, the dog's the best driver out of the four.
Yes, the dog was the best driver.
Oh.
I think they stop at a motel at one point, and like they have like dumb little like in between gags where they stop at random places, and like Byron Powell is the reality show host, and he like just hates his job, and he's like, you know what? Let's make this more fun, and I'm gonna fuck with them, and he just like
Yeah.
messes with them
He
along the way.
face turned heels in this movie, and now he's like an antagonist.
Yeah, he went from good guy to like
And they
just
call
straight
him
up.
out. They call him out on this multiple times. Like he's not the main antagonist of the film. Kind of. So the antagonist of this film is some random like redheaded bitch that they.
We'll talk about her. Well, no, we can't spoil it yet, Bill. We're not there yet.
Oh, it's pretty
Um,
fucking obvious from the first second she
well,
appears.
not at first. I feel like you wouldn't necessarily think she's the bad one, but they arrive at their first town, which is like Hawkwater Springs. What a name! And they have their first fashion show, and the trucks just like fold out. Which you know why the trucks did that, right? That was probably a toy. You could probably buy that.
Probably.
Most likely.
We by the way did not see this movie back in the day. This
No,
was
I didn't know this one existed. I wish it stayed that way.
even though you had the game based off of it.
I did, but it was more like based off the Diamond-esque dolls. That they were big. They were a big hit. The Diamond dolls. Ow. Sorry, she just clawed me. But they arrive and they have their first show, and they announce that their winner is Mandy Pickett. And Mandy's going to join them, and they basically have to keep, the whole plot is that they're supposed to keep shoving these other people in the car, and they're already full truck as they go along. It doesn't make sense.
And this
And
isn't
then
even a cabin cruiser, by the way. Like it's just a straight up like 4 seats.
Yes. And your thing chooses Christy Baker, which is basically Tweevil number 3.
The Threevils. They were the Threevils.
But rather than liking each other, they hate each other. And like there's a plot where they just like try and kill each other at one point.
Yeah, they lock her in a fucking porta potty.
Yeah. You just see like it flashes between the Your Thing group and the Bratz group. And honestly, the scenes with Your Thing are much funnier and better.
Well, because the scenes with Your Thing is like they're getting like these strange misfortunes that happen. And it's strange how every time they happen, the redheaded girl disappears.
Yeah. Well, the Bratz. The Bratz, whenever something bad happens, not Your Thing.
Well, no, the bad things that happen. The bad things that happen to Your Thing are because of this. The redheaded girl disappeared.
She's ripped open my flesh. Do you see it?
Yeah, that's great.
Ow. But she's so cute. I can't help it. Come here. I love you. Come here. I love you.
Yeah, basically, they go from place to place. The Tweevils lose their third person. They just they don't make it to any more fucking destinations.
Wait, we need to talk. At one point, they're like fighting over the wheel, and they go off road and get it stuck. And like Christy, who they've just been Tweevils have been like a jerk to, like calls her dad, and she's like, "Dad, I want to go home." And her dad picks her up, and he looks like Doug Dimmadome. And
Doug Dimmadome.
And
well, he looks like a cross between.
The best part is like he doesn't call help for them. He just fucking deserts them, and they just leave. They just go away.
He looks like a cross. He looks like a cross between Doug Dimmadome and Colonel Sanders. Like it is the greatest look ever.
Yes,
I would watch an entire movie with him because he was clearly the best character in this movie.
And then they make it to like their next spot, which is Mount Middletown, where they meet this girl, Tiffany. Tiffany is their contestant, but then like that redhead bitch, what was her name? Mandy Pickett ends up framing her like that she stole everyone's wallets and stuff.
And the Bratz are so gullible, they just buy it.
Well, and Byron too. They all buy it. So they basically be like, "Fuck you," and Mandy's the only one.
Yeah, she gets arrested. She gets straight up arrested.
Yeah, I hope there's like some sort of like redemption for her, but we never see her again.
Nope, she's gone forever. You bought the toy. You bought the toy. That's it.
And then at one point, the Your Thing magazine does catch up, but the show's already over and they can't pick anyone up. But they leave at the same time, and the Your Thing group ends up getting in front of them. And they end up changing a sign, so the Bratz go down the wrong side because they're stupid.
Yeah, it gets straight up wacky racers at points.
Yes, but then they end up. I think they end up falling asleep in a cornfield. I don't know. They end up in the cornfield at one point where they meet Sheridan, who ends up being that's the Bratz doll that they're gonna sell and make other dolls for.
Oh yeah, because this
Um,
is like the classic like she's the nerdy girl, and then they give her a makeover, and it's like, oh my god, she's hot.
yeah. So basically, they end up going, "Hey, can she be? She's going to be our next contestant." Even though this is clearly breaking the rules of the competition and like not fair, but they don't care. Um, so they do, and Mandy tries to like tell her like not to go. And then they're like, "No, Sheridan should go," and like they decide she's gonna go, and they convince her parents that she should go.
Oh, by
The
the way,
Joneses.
her parents are fun because the dad is the character model that they would later reuse for the ass-eating teacher.
Yes, but also her parents are literally Jimmy Neutron's parents.
Yeah, kind of.
They were
Oh,
they were
well,
literally
the dad is not Hugh Neutron, but the mom is definitely a Judy Neutron.
yeah, there was Jimmy Neutron-esque. You could see the inspiration. So Sheridan worked on her collection during the night for the show, even though they end up showing one outfit, so who fucking cares? But Mandy steals her
The
clothes
fucking
and the fucking
semi.
semi
Like,
during
what
the
the
night, and they're like, "What do we do?"
Because they
So the
apparently
mom's
left. Oh, running joke with this series, they leave the fucking keys and everything. Like, just
yes. Don't and that's like the takeaway from this movie is bring your keys with you. Ow! Sorry, she keeps hitting me. She's so mean. Um, and basically the mom's like, "Oh, don't worry, girls, take my ride," and she just has a convertible ready for them. And they take a convertible to get to New York City. And when they get there, uh, the
well,
you're
you're
thing
forgetting the point where they run over Byron.
yeah, they run over. Yeah, I guess so. At some point, Byron's just an asshole, so I kind of forgot about him.
Yeah, they run him
Um,
down, and they're like, "Get back here!" Like, what the fuck? And then he runs off in his helicopter.
yes. Oh yeah, because there's like a. Oh yeah, because at one point, they fully convince Berdine that the aliens exist, and when they get
And
to
he
New
has a
York,
fucking alien saucer prop. What
this
the?
movie was what the hell? His movies are fucking weird.
All these movies are what the
Um,
fuck.
and so they get there, and she like goes nuts, and like at one point, like the character model from the last movie of the ESA agents ends up chasing her around in like doctor's outfits trying to send her to
Yeah,
a
they
mental
just bring
hospital.
back Zell and what's her name, but they're not the same character. Jesus.
No, it's not even that. It's like the models of like the agents.
Oh right,
Like
yeah,
the
those
like the
guys. Yeah,
yeah,
those
and they're
guys.
there. And then so they eventually get there and then they see that Mandy stole Sheridan's outfits and then they're like, "Sheridan, bedazzle our clothes. That's good enough." And then she just puts diamonds on them. And that's literally it. She just bedazzles
Diamonds
their outfits.
forever.
Yes,
Diamonds forever,
diamonds.
baby.
Well, in the whole movie plot is diamonds. That's why it's named Diamonds. That's literally it. It's because this one character who only showed up in like the last quarter of the movie. It's not even half. It's quarter. Um, and so yeah, so that happened, and
Then we get a chase
they have
scene.
the well, there's the fashion show, and then Sheridan wins, but Mandy's pissed, so Mandy steals the diamond go-go boots, and there is a chase scene, and then eventually
They
they
almost get
catch
run over by
her.
a train
Yeah,
because
they catch
that's
her, and it's fine, I guess. Like it's all good. And then Sheridan gets her boots and the day is saved. And then she like gets in the car with her parents. She's like, "Bye, I'll never see you again." The brats are like, "Cool, it was nice using you for fame." And that's it.
I'll
That's
be
the
a
movie.
background character in all the future films.
Yeah, and there's really like that's it. That was the shit. That was the movie.
I'm pretty sure the Tweebles died because they're not in the next movie. They just
Yeah,
disappear
yeah,
after this
we haven't seen the two. I'm sure they'll appear again, but yes, this was the last, at least our last appearance
in
of
this.
the Tweevils. And one thing that you'll notice too from this movie is that there was definitely a shift in the animation quality where it looked better but also worse at the same time.
Yeah. Also, this movie and the Genie one came out the same year, so they were pumping these things out like
Oh
fast.
yeah, same. I forgot about the genie one. Yeah, there was a little bit the same with the genie one. There was a bit of more quality. I feel like this one was more noticeable. Oh, also the Dunk Dimino man's name was Big Daddy. That's what
Hell
it
yeah,
says on the wiki.
Big
Um,
Daddy.
but yeah, We never see the third Tweeble, which I will say is better than the original Tweebles. So they should have kept Christy. I liked her and her bow outfit. It was very nice. But yeah,
it was just this one was so dumb.
yeah, Sheridan was here to sell dolls, and all her outfits were just bejeweled shit. Like she just put
Well,
diamonds on their
it
already
was
existing.
2000. It was 2006. That was the style at the
But I
time.
remember I had the Yasmin doll for this, and that was my favorite doll I ever had. Was actually the Bratz Diamonds one from this. So hey, it worked. I really liked the sparkles, so it was my favorite doll. But yeah, that was it for that one. This movie, I would still say the genie one is my favorite, and just for
You
I
know what
don't know
You know what I rated this movie on Letterboxd?
what.
Half a star, because I couldn't do none.
All right, where would you have it on your list so far?
This is the worst one.
This is the worst. Yeah, yeah. I would say
There's
this
no
one's
plot. It's a road trip, and nothing happens.
I agree. That one was the fucking like.
The other ones at
It
least
was
have a
stupid.
semblance of a plot.
So
This is just straight up a road trip. And this, we never find out what happened to their fucking
yeah. So
semi.
clearly,
It's just gone.
we don't need to know. And clearly, hold on. Let me see. I might be able to shine some light on Dingle, and then I feel like we need a palette cleanser, which I'm gonna dub a Dingle cleanser. Can you see her? I feel like no, that didn't work.
Not
Look,
in the
Dingle. See, she's
We
right
don't-
there.
Nobody see this. I don't.
Damn
know.
it. I'm gonna need Dingle Cam. I've come up with this great solution for like having her here. I'm real excited about her being here. But anyways, yeah. So that movie clearly didn't go as well. So they said, you know what worked really well is when we tried like the supernatural shit. So let's
But
try that
let's
again.
make it even more fucking ridiculous.
Yes. So this one is Brett's Fashion Pixies. And Bill, we're at an hour and a half. And it's a good thing we decided to break this into pieces because oh my god. I could not talk anymore about these. Like this is already too much
And
of a
fun
headache.
fact, this is the one where when you were watching them, you're like, "This one's good, I swear." Like you were like,
This
"I swear,
one
this one's good."
this one was my favorite growing up. Mostly because like I really like the Pixies. Hence the name is Fashion Pixies. Um so this one's sellable doll is which one is this one? Brianna. Brianna is this one's doll that they're trying to sell. She's like the main other character that's in it. That's the main lead character in the doll they're basically selling. And I liked Brianna. Brianna was nice. But
Dylan
basically,
comes back.
this
Dylan comes
movie
back.
begins with two yeah, Dylan is back. The other guy is gone. But it begins with two sisters, like a family, and they're like having a barbecue, and it's sisters Brianna and Cymbeline. Brianna is Cymbeline's younger sister, and Cymbeline just turned 18. And for her birthday, they end up like having like a little barbecue for her birthday. And at one point, Cymbeline's like, "Yeah, leave me alone." Like, cause Brianna's like, "I want some advice. You're my big sister." And Cymbeline's like, "I don't fucking care," and leaves. And she sneaks out, and then Brianna follows her, and then she sees her sister like glow into a red orb, and she's like, "Oh my god, what the heck just happened?" And we don't really know, but she turned into a pixie because the name is Fashion Pixie. So spoilers.
Also,
Um,
the fashion trend for this movie was like gothic alternative. So
yeah, a little bit. And then so the next day, Yasmin, Chloe, Dylan, and Cymbeline are in chemistry class, and Cymbeline is just falling asleep, not doing her work, and they have to do a science experiment. But then, right before the end of class, sorry, almost burped. You would have had to edit it out. Good thing I didn't. I hiccuped. Right at the end of class, this girl Lena comes in, and they're like, "Hey, this is our new student, Lena." And
she's like
Dylan's
border
like,
almost green. Like
"Yes." No, she's red.
Oh, whatever. Who cares?
Lena's the red one. But Cymbeline's the green one. She
Right.
comes
Right.
in and Dylan's like, "Oh, wowie, that's a hot tamale," and he's
Because
like,
His entire character throughout this series is he's a perv, and he's
and
just
also what an ass too, because at one point, um, Brianna, who has a crush on him, ew, Brianna, get better taste, um, tries to ask him to the Magnolia Ball at the what the fuck is your problem? At the end of the uh after class, and he's just like, yeah, looking at the other girl, and
yeah.
like just like completely ignores her, and I'm like, that is so mean, that poor
But
girl.
you know what? It's kind of
He gets his
accurate to how,
comeuppance.
but that's kind of
What?
how some people are in like high school.
No, yeah, it was pretty accurate. um but then, after that, um Dylan ends up getting his backpack stolen, and he ends up following it, and it's this
On
way
a
too long
fucking
chase season
motorcycle chase.
on Cameron's motorcycle he stole from Europe.
Sure.
Hey. um, the hay bike. So motorcycle he stole. And this chase scene goes on for way too fucking long. So they were really stretching this movie out. And eventually he ends up in the woods, and like Lena is there, and he's like kind of scared but also a little bit turned on. And he's like, "You know what? I'm going to the woods with this bitch. Why the fuck not?" And
And
then
then
he just
Cam was
goes,
never seen again.
he will be. He's just like a mindless fucking zombie when he comes back. So the girls are chilling in town, and they're also working on. There's this Magnolia Ball that Cymbeline and Brianna's dad is like sponsoring, and they're on the committee for it. Uh and they're like kind of mad at Cymbeline because she's not doing her work. So they say, "You know what? We're gonna go to Cymbeline's house and yell at her because she's not putting in her weight for the project." So we go to their house, and Brianna catches Cymbeline sneaking out again. Um, but Cymbeline invites Brianna to come out with her to see what she's doing. But Brianna's like, I don't really know. And at the same time, the girls are trying to break into their home. Um, so Cymbeline, I don't know. Cymbeline has Brianna covered for her. It's kind of weird, but basically, like two of the girls sneak in. I think Chloe and Yasmin end up sneaking in, and
And the
they
other
end
two
up
just wait
seeing,
outside.
yeah. But I believe they end up seeing Brianna become a
Uh,
pixie.
Sprout wings and fly away. And then
Yeah.
they get chased by a lawn gnome.
And yes, they get chased by a lawn gnome, and these lawn gnomes will reappear. And they do reuse the lawn gnome models for future movies. Like there's a fairy tale kids movie, which we're not going to talk about, but they reuse them for that. I saw. Um, but after that, what else happened? Oh God, my wiki page. Oh shit! 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 Shit!
What?
That just opened a fucking virus page. Great.
Yeah, I don't ever stay on Wiki for longer than like 5 minutes.
All right, I'm gonna try and find a different thing, to look at. Maybe there's like another thing I can look at. Bill took a
Anyways,
tinkle break. Phil took a tinkle break. He had to tinkle. But anyway, so the wiki I was kind of like looking at for reference. I don't trust the website anymore. It gave me a virus website where it's like the McAfee thing popped up, and I closed it right away. So I think we're good. But I don't trust it anymore. So if it's even more scattered, it's because I don't have anything to reference now. Actually, maybe the Google AI might have.
or you can
Uh,
just do it on your phone. That's how I usually do it.
yeah, meh, I don't feel like doing that. I prefer. Oh, okay. I found the Rotten Tomatoes, so maybe that will work.
What's this
Maybe
movie got?
that'll
Like
help.
a 6?
It has a 76%. What the fuck? But I will say,
Basically, basically though, from what I remember, the plot after the lawn gnome chase scene, they go back to school, and then
well, they confront Brianna, and they're like, "What the fuck is going on?" And Brianna's like, this is what's happening. And at one point, Chloe and Jasmine, I think, get kidnapped.
Yeah, and then
Or
they
like
they come back as emo bitches.
yeah, well, they become back as like the pixified. But basically, Brianna ends up showing Sasha and Jade because Yasmin and Chloe are wherever. And they also notice that like Dylan is like also like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Dylan?
Dylan is
Um,
off on a fucking drug trip right now.
yeah, he's like mind controlled at this moment.
Like he's not even like gothified. He's just straight up like lost in the woods.
Yes. Okay. I found another website. Nope, it barely gives you anything. But basically, okay, what happens is Brianna ends up giving Sasha and Jade these glasses that basically are like, look into the magic pixie world, and they
Yeah,
see
apparently this entire world is just inhabited by fucking fairies.
but they hide it from everyone else. Um But, after that, so they end up going, okay, we got to save our friends. They've all been kidnapped. So at one point, they end up going to this in the woods club,
It's
basically.
straight up a rave. And
Yes.
the scene here goes on way
Wait,
too
yes.
long.
Like most of there was probably a couple other filler scenes in between as well, but this honestly, this movie sucks. Like, and a lot of the reviews I said people loved this as a kid and they look back and they're like, this is terrible. Um they go back. At one point you hear about like their tragic backstory, how their mom just disappeared and she left them in a cardboard box. That happens in a
Yeah,
snowstorm. She
yeah.
just fucking
She
leaves them on
leaves them
the
in.
street.
No, she leaves them next to a dumpster, and I was like, "Ah, yeah, dumping the children in the dumpster."
And
Great.
like the best part too is you see those horrifying Bratz kids models, which are just awful, and are why we are not watching one of the reasons why we're not watching the Bratz kids movies. But they basically like, okay, we gotta save our friends. So there you go. And they get to this like in the dark tree clubhouse, and it has all these dark pixies, and it's just a fucking rave. And it's this honestly, I will say, best bop of all. That was the best bop of
I was
all
too
the Bratz soundtrack.
distracted by the fucking abominations they kept zooming in
So
on the whole
yeah,
time.
the evil dark pixies like just have really big fucking eyes for some reason, and they're all just dancing out. They're doing a pixie circle. That's what it was, and basically to create negative energy and give them power.
And then the
And
way that they reverse the spells is they get in a friendship circle, and it's like, it's hold on tight,
yes,
everybody.
yes.
Don't let
So
go.
Lena is like, yeah, we gotta catch Brianna, and then we'll have full control. And Brianna's there, and she's like, fuck. And then the dark magic is like, ow, it's hurting. But before we go into that, during the rave, there's this one clip of one of the dark pixies dancing. And it's just zoomed up in on her face. It's just like, like it looks so fucking stupid every time. It was awful. And then so basically, she almost passes out, and then they try and use their magic circle, which she's like, I learned this from my mom. Hold on tight. Hold on
Hold
to
hands.
and it's like hold hands, hold on to each other, and never let go. And they had to chant it.
And of
Oh,
course,
because they tried to save Yasmin and Chloe and it didn't work.
and of course, well, no, because fucking Jade and Sasha immediately fucking give in to the fucking manipulation and just let go.
No, Chloe and Yasmin.
Well, no, that it's
Oh
Chloe and
yeah. Never
Jade and
mind. Yeah,
Sasha are the ones that are trying to save them, and they get distracted by the manipulation immediately. Like,
they're
I'm
like, oh my god, you're my friend. They're like, fuck you, bitch. I got you. Basically,
pretty much.
And yeah, so that happens. And then like Lena's like, well, if you're not gonna join me, I guess you're gonna die. And she collapses the tree on them. And you think they're dead. And then she ends up going to like the Magnolia Festival where their dad is the two pixie girls' dad is there. And
He is such a gawkish character too.
yeah, he's the pixie king, and like he looks so fucking stupid, and they start fighting.
The best part though is when he changes into his king form. He and Alex both just went, "Oh no, he's hot," and like, even though he's not,
Even though he was
like
not.
He's like slightly less gawkish.
It's a fucking mullet. So they're fighting, but then we flash back to the other girls who we think are dead, but they're not. The gnomes are there to save them with pixie corns. I think that's what they call them. Because they're or unipixies. I think it might have actually been unipixies, but they're no pick. Pegapixies. Was it Pegapixie?
Fucking
They're
remember.
basically unicorns, flying
Pixie
unicorns with pixie wings.
unicorns.
And they end up flying there to save them. And that scene also goes on for too long. They fly really fucking slow, and they get there, and their dad is fighting.
And then he becomes Tree.
Well, and at one point he's like, Cymbeline, stop being a dumb bitch, and she's like, Daddy. I think she actually said. She does.
What the fuck are these movies?
She's fine. And then like Lena's like, fuck you, bitch, and launches her into a tree. And then the other girls come in, and then they find out, oh, tree, the big tree in the middle that we keep referencing.
The symbolic tree,
that's her mom. Her mom was never dead.
It's great that the mom just happened to die right in the center of that park, perfectly feng shuied.
Well, yes, and then the dad ends up also getting turned into a tree, but he's in a very non-feng shui spot, and you just knew this isn't gonna last for long because it's not feng shui.
The best part though is when they're like, "We have to save our mom. Get in the friendship circle," and then the fucking tree bursts in flames. Like it's like they just fucking like it's like unleash the pits of hell and just burn the tree.
And they're just chanting, hold on to each other, never let go, and they just keep chanting it. And Cymbeline at one point is like, I'm not really feeling this, and her sister's like, hold my fucking hand, bitch. Like that's literally what happens.
And then the mom comes back and then just looks over.
Hot. The mom was hot.
Yeah, but then she looks at the tree and just gets pissed, and she's like, "Oh no,
that's
bitch.
My fucking husband." And then she fights, and then like Lena just gets her ass kicked very easily. Like she very much wasn't threatening.
Anticlimactic.
Like the mom's back, and then she changes the dad back, and then it's just like, yay, the day is saved.
And it's like, by the way, you have all your knowledge of pixies. We gotta mind wipe you. It's just like,
and like literally, that's it. Like the day is saved. They have the magnolia ball, and everything goes back to normal. And then, I will say, this movie is still my favorite, but for many different reasons.
This movie is infuriating. That one was the most infuriating one to watch.
That was so fucking stupid.
Like so many moments where I was like, this is going on too fucking long. Like
this one I think was the longest. Like I think this one did have the longest runtime.
And it was all fucking artificially stretched out. Like,
well, and it was weird because like, so I ended up watching like a girl's review. I can't remember her name. If I remember, I'll send you to link it. But she actually reviewed this movie, and like she was like, yeah, so did you know like this movie was actually about like a little bit about substance abuse? I was like, what? And then like I guess it has like, I don't see it fully, but I guess like with the whole like going into the pixie club and like the and the sister like, you know, falling into this like becoming a pixie, it can also be similar to like, you know, falling down the wrong route, getting into drugs. So yeah, it was a little bit about that, which I'm like, all right, I guess vibes. For the time, maybe it made sense, but I didn't really see it as a kid since I was a kid, and I was like, ooh, pixies.
Unfortunately, the market this was marketed towards was like 8-year-old girls who were just kind of like, ooh, toys.
Yeah. Well, no, Bratz also led into some of the teenagers just because of the styles, but I mean, these ones sold a lot of fucking dolls. We'll just go with that. Like they sold so many dolls because how many of you, everyone wanted a freaking pixie doll. They had pixie wings. All the dolls.
You know what I remember though the most, like, because you had the Rock Angels, Stylin' and Starlin', the Gypsy one, and then the Genie one.
Mm-hmm.
You would watch those movies on repeat like all the time.
Yes.
This I would usually be able to sit through them just to get to game time, but like this one was the one where I was like, no. I was like, this one is stupid.
Also, so I'm looking at the Lena doll. They made the Lena doll so pretty and nice. Did they forget that she's the evil villain of the story?
There's a Zell doll. Like
there's a Zell doll?
Yeah, it doesn't
look that
look
on
like
the
her.
Screen right now. Yeah, none of the. I also will say I feel like the pixie dolls, they had changed the Bratz face shape a little bit for them. I don't know if it's just the hair, but something about them just doesn't look the same. Oh, they also made one of the mom, and it looks nothing like the mom. So that's great. But each of these came with like a magic wand too, which is pretty hilarious.
Oh, it might not actually be Zell. It's just a character that looks like Zell.
Oh, that's okay. But yeah.
but in the meantime,
Oh God, I'm scared.
I am a little too. Keep talking. Give it.
Bill is pulling.
What is
What?
that?
That is such a bad low res film. He's like, my bottle, my bottle.
Yes. Anyways, yeah. Oh God.
I
Okay.
need to like open
Nope.
that.
You can't look up Bratz anything and scroll down because you're gonna immediately be like, oh, too far.
Yeah, you're like, oh, Rule 34 exists for a reason. Anyways,
But yeah,
so I wanted to. Oh shit! Let me just make sure this doesn't play. I'm just trying to find the playlist because it has all the. Okay, so we watched Bratz Stylin' and Starlin', Rock Angels, Genie Magic, Passion for Fashion Diamonds, and Fashion Pixies. Out of these five, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5. Which one was your favorite so far?
Honestly, Stylin' and Starlin' has the most concise plot out of all of these, which is really fucking stupid.
And that one's plot sucks too.
It does, but at least that one's like just kind of like there's one of our friends is a bitch, but also prom. Like the plot is simple. The rest of these, it's like what the fuck, like where we go, trucking road trip, like.
All right. Well, my favorite was the Genie one so far. So
the
in the
Genie
next
one has the simplest plot out of the ridiculous ones.
So we'll probably take a break in between because we need to watch the next one. So we'll probably watch them next Sunday cuz we just needed to give our these were very much brain rot. And I will say like personally and from other reviews too of people who went back and watched these movies that they loved as a kids, they do realize that these movies are kind of terrible.
You know what my reaction was watching this? The whole time I'm just sitting here going like, this was successful? Like the Bratz were so successful, Mattel had to sue to get them off the market? Like
yes. I don't know if this one's the right playlist. Let me see cuz there was one that has like all of the cuz we had a couple more, right?
There's at least 6 more, 5 more, I think.
Like, oh, here's the here's the playlist we had. Oh shit. No. Fuck. Okay. It was about to play. I just want Bratz movies in order. Okay, boom. There we go. Go away. Don't play. But yeah, so we watched that. So our next one we're gonna have to watch is Bratz Girls Really Rock. Then we'll watch Bratz Pampered Pets, which Girls Really Rock came out in 2008. Pampered Pets came out in 2010. Then we'll watch Bratz Wilderness. It doesn't say the date. Then we'll watch Bratz. Oh, why is this here? Go away. Oh, I can't see it. Bratz. It's like literally covering it. What the hell? All right, we'll look through here. Bratz Desert Jewels. Because they had to bring the Genie magic back, and then Bratz Paris with a Z. So we got 1, 2, 3, so 5 more, and then we'll finish it all off watching the grand finale, the live action Bratz movie. So it's gonna be 3-part series of Bratz. Are you excited?
No, especially because the ones we're going into next we have not seen.
Yeah, I think I watched one of them maybe on a whim many years ago. Like many years ago. But truthfully, I have no fucking idea what we're about to get ourselves into. Are you glad we did this?
It was entertaining for the wrong reasons.
The ass
Oh.
eating teacher. That's why that one's your favorite.
That was just so fucking
We
stupid.
joked about that the whole time. Oh.
Oh yeah, and also
Rats.
remember by the end we were like, "Where's Cam been this whole time?" And we were like, "Oh, he's still sitting in the cuck chair."
Yeah, Cam is not. Maybe Cam will make another appearance. We never saw him again. Mostly
Which
just Dylan.
he was the main guy character too in the Bratz lore.
No one fucking cares. Cam.
You had Cam dolls. You had Cam.
I
dolls.
did. I did have Cam doll. I think I had a Dylan doll too.
Probably. I don't know.
Yeah. I mostly had the girls because the girls had the cuter outfits, but you did have to like give them a boyfriend, when you were playing with dolls. So, yeah, so that probably happened. But, Bratz movies, are they as good as when I'm younger? No, they're fucking awful.
They
But,
are horrendous. Like,
but there is something funny and nostalgic, especially that barf noise. Please, someone look it up. Watch that video just to hear that. Because it was so fucking funny. We were laughing and we had a good time doing this. And I can't wait to watch the live action one.
oh, that movie's like bad, and to the point where I'm pretty sure everyone involved with it knew it was bad.
I heard that it had a couple different directors too, which never usually goes well. So
Well, I
get
looked up
ready for it.
the guy who ended up directing it in the end. I looked up his other movies. I'm like, I don't think he's ever had a good movie. So.
Oh, well, it just wasn't meant to be good. But hey, that's just a theory. A Bratz theory. A game theory. What? Yeah. So are you happy we did this?
You've already asked me, but sure.
Oh, okay, good. All right. Well, that was it. We'll talk to you later. Goodbye.
Anyways,
End the
guys.
podcast right now. No, end it now. End it now. We're Bratz. We end in the Bratz.
Anyways, guys, once again, thank you for joining us on the Gaming Collecting Podcast. You can find the Gaming Collecting Podcast on all the major podcasting platforms, particularly Apple Podcast and Spotify. And be sure to check us out over on the Superpod Network. That's superpodnetwork.com. Awesome site where you can find all sorts of different videos, blogs, and all sorts of fun stuff like that. Podcasts. Really awesome site. Be sure to check it out. And with that, everybody, we will see you all later. Very well
Bratz! Bratz!
Greens!